Hi everyone, it's, well, I was thinking about who it was then, because it's me, it's me, Richard. Although when I look back at myself in the phone, I don't always recognise me right now. So I haven't given you an update. Some of you will have seen Sky News this week and wiled away 4 hours of your life. And I also put an update out on the GoFundMe page, but I wanted to do a little update to my friends and my tribe, and it's been quite a bumpy week. So I'm just wanted to take a few minutes just to give you a bit of an insight as to what's going on. It might be that the nurse pops in partway through because I am, believe it or not, in my second home, the hospital. And you'll see, I'm going to try and show you, my hands are really shaky, but I'm going to show you what's going on. There it is up there. So whilst it looks like an infusion of bird's custard or melted butter, it's actually an infusion of blood platelets. So I had some blood tests yesterday and my PICC line cleaned. You'll see, for those of you that want to see my PICC line, it's a fascinating thing. Some of you are just probably gagging. I had some blood tests yesterday, and then they called me in the evening to say that my blood platelet count, and the platelets is what helps your blood clot, it had dropped down. Should be between 150 and 450, and mine's normally around 240, but dropped to 10. Today it's dropped to 9, so it's not very groovy. So I'm back here having a platelet infusion, but today they also see that my neutrophils and my hemoglobin levels have dropped off a bit, so I might have to have a blood transfusion. Well, I might have to have that tomorrow if they drop again. So, an unexpected trip. Whilst, if you'd have asked me before December the 7th what my ideal Saturday would be like, and what my familiar Saturday was like, maybe I'd have said flat whites, long dog walks, watching films, a bit of home stuff, opening up the windows, letting some fresh air through, tinkering around in the shops, hanging out with Mia, Kelly and Royston, a bit of reading, maybe on my course. Now you ask me and I go, taking drugs, having a blood transfusion, having some more platelets put in. So it feels, being here feels familiar. Even the lovely porter that brought me in this morning tried to show me where the things were in the room, and I'm like super grateful, and I spend way too much time here. Jeff is his name. And I thought he was going to burst into tears because I don't think he was expecting me to say, like, I'm really sorry, sir. So I go, it's okay. You don't need to call me sir, just call me Richard. So we had a little chat. I feel like I've had lots of nice moments today of very human interaction. There's a wonderful doctor here called Dr. Habib, and we had some very deep and meaningful conversations since I've been here since 9 o'clock today. And I also witnessed a lovely moment outside the door with the physiotherapist taking a lady to help her walk along the corridor, and the lady was talking in such a beautifully animated way about how she felt she smelt nice today because she had put on her Estee Lauder private collection that her husband has bought her a bottle of every year. It's been out since the 70s. He's bought her a bottle every year, and she makes it last the year, and then he buys her another bottle. But it was just so gorgeous. So just moments of feels real humanness. So it feels a bumpy week, feels a full week. It feels Kelly and I and Mia are trying to find a bit of a new rhythm. Kelly starts a new job, 2 new jobs actually next week, which is super exciting, and just couldn't be the more perfect fit for her and the most perfect fit for the organisation she's going to spend some more time with. And so I feel so excited, maybe even more excited than she is. And it also means we have to kind of find our rhythm a little bit more. It's rhythm. And And Mia's had a cool week. She has a concert tonight, which I so hope I'll be able to go to and at least see her bit. I won't be able to hang out for the whole few hours with see the other bands, but she's playing 3 numbers tonight with a band, and she's excited and we're excited, so that's amazing. She had a chance to go and observe for a Saturday role today with a speech and language therapist, which is also amazing, so I hope that goes her way. My gut is that it will, so it just feels, that I've talked before about that fragile line between the beautiful and the ugly, actually. And that's very evident wherever I look. There's that very fragile line, and that's quite special. So I feel this chemo is really hard. I feel very heavy this week. My world feels heavy and yet floaty at the same time. Usual side effects we are navigating, but there's a drug for most side effects, so I'm doing okay with that. And I'm kind of doing okay. I have my PET scan next week, which I feel that will illuminate and tell us really what next. So I want to say thank you to everyone. Oh, I'm recording a little video. This is the lovely Mahidin who makes sure I get all my food and drink and wonderful things. So, are you going?
No, get you some sandwich or?
No, do you know what? I haven't even finished my cup of coffee. I haven't drunk it because they started my transfusion.
Anyway.
Pardon?
Some biscuit or?
Oh, could I just have actually some crackers and cheese? Oh my God, crackers and cheese.
Biscuit, yeah?
Crackers and cheese, yeah. Thank you, Mahidin. Thank you. Well, they look after me so well here. Just like, again, in everything I'm reminded of the beauty and the ugliness. This is probably taking way too long. So I don't really know what I was talking about because that happens quite a lot at the moment anyway. My brain either can't keep up or it forgets things. So the campaign is still doing well. I think we're almost at 57,000, which is incredible. And we'll have some more PR next week. I think I'm talking on BBC Radio tomorrow in the afternoon about it, which is cool. Really, whatever helps. If we just help one family, then I'm good. I'll rest easy. So yeah, it's a fascinating journey. I wish I could talk much more, but I think it would just bore the shit out of you. So I endeavour to keep them quite short, and I'm already at 8 minutes. Fucking hell. So I thank you for all your love and support. The messages are just overwhelming, and text messages, voice messages, emails. It's quite incredible. So I'm very touched by all of them, and I do my best to reply to everyone. I hope I have, and if I haven't, I'm bitterly sorry about that. So I think that was the last thing I want to leave you with, really, which was, as I had the conversation with Dr. Habib earlier, I was telling him, he was talking about how we maneuver cancer and the elegance with which we maneuver it, and I talked about the dance with it. And I remembered when having chemotherapy a couple of weeks ago, there was a lady sat opposite me, Debbie, who was having chemo too, and she came back from the toilet with her drip stand connected to her IV line, and she did this like 45 seconds of getting completely entangled in the drip stand cable, and she was stepping over it and then couldn't get her arm stuck around it, and then got the cable stuck around the drip stand. So this thing went on, and I watched it, and I had just like this smile on my face. I couldn't have jumped up and helped her. I wasn't just... And I watched her do it, and then suddenly this moment of peace where the whole thing came together, and she sat down, and the drip stand was in its place, and she was in its place, and it was all like, for a moment, they found their rhythm together. And I just said to her, I smiled, and I said, I just watched the most beautiful dance happen. And how often that is our truth in dance, is that we stand on the other person's toes, and one's doing the tango and one's doing the foxtrot. But then eventually there'll be a point where and there might be small moments where we find our rhythm. And I was just really struck by that. That feels very alive in this journey, about the moments that we find our rhythm. And and they might be really short and sweet. Or maybe reflect on that, about where you find your own rhythm, where you are stepping on the other person's, and that might be real or metaphorical, toes, and where you find flow, where you get into your moment of rhythm and it becomes effortless. And just notice. Don't need to do anything, just notice it. So I'm going to sign off because I've talked for way too long. I send each of you lots of love. Thank you for being interested in what I've got to say, or not, of course, because maybe you'll go, fuck, it's 10.5 minutes and I got better things to do, which is okay. So thank you from Kelly and from Mia and from me and from Royston for everything that you do for us. And I hope I won't be here that much longer. It's going to be another hour and a half at least. And I don't know if I might be back for a blood transfusion tomorrow. So I bid you farewell, and I send you lots of love. All right, take care. Bye.